Good morning, everyone, and my name is Sharon Whiteman, and I have some guest speakers here, and some of them are hiding. Colleen and Julie, you can put your cameras on now if you like. If you can, if you can't, that's okay. We're here today, there they are. We're here today to celebrate everything that was the 2020 Australasian conference, which, and all of us, forgive us, we're gonna have our notes because we wanna do a good job of giving you the best hint of what happened there for those of you that couldn't attend. And I know some of I can see did attend, so we're just going to relive. It was just such a good conference. And, you know, the venue, wasn't it exquisite? It was just, you know, there's just surprises of beauty at every corner, everywhere you went. So this is going to be very informal. Yeah, exactly, Rhonda. There is always a different perspective. This is going to be very informal. We're just going to go around and celebrate everything which is 2020 conference. And we'll start by just sharing a little bit about ourselves. I know Mike has to leave at 9:30 to go out and be a brave fiery. So thank you for your service, Mike. We'll start with Rachel and Mike and just say hi, who you are, how long you've been with Manatech, and maybe why you're passionate about Manatech.
Good morning, Sharon, Gary, and Diana's hiding there anywhere. And just before I start, I just want to thank you again for that amazing commitment, because that's like 17 years sneaking along there and just connecting the field and cross-legging the field, which is just amazing. Shows us your heart for Manatech. So Mike and I, we've been with Manatech probably 18, 20 months now, and this was our first conference that we attended. And we are here in Taree on the mid-north coast. And our story of why we love Manatech and I'm passionate about the story is that Mike's had a need for that with a crazy sort of health accident, probably now 18 months ago. It was 2 months after his accident. I joined with Manatech, and that's an amazing. He became really deconditioned after that, and then with Manatech products, his body was able to rebuild itself. So we found Manatech, and that's why we're here and passionate about what we're doing. Yeah.
I can remember meeting you for the first time about 18 months ago, I think it was. Yeah. And you hardly recognizable. You're so vibrant and healthy now in comparison. So God bless Manatech. Yeah. What we have is so important. Absolutely.
And it was so exciting for me to meet you at conference too. I've seen you every Saturday morning. You know, it's almost like I see you every day, but it was really nice to meet you in the flesh. And yeah, I was just so excited. It's my first conference. So
thank you. Likewise. That's what another element, isn't it, that sometimes we don't touch on when we're debriefing the conference, is that the connections with the community, you know, like it just builds on what we get to do in a virtual way. And yeah, we all love that. So Colleen, tell us a bit about you and why you love Manatech.
Okay, good morning, Sharon.
Good morning.
Everybody can hear me, obviously. Great.
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. And lovely story, you guys. Lovely to hear that. Thank you again for inviting us on this morning's call. Just a little bit about me, I guess. Quite simply, the gift of Manatech's technology certainly changed my health, continues to this very day. And the company of Manatech has changed the way I live my life. So I owe a lot to the gift of Manatech, the company, and where they stand. And just quite simply, you know, several years ago, I was chronically unwell with inflammation, and it was 3.5 years of being rather sick and unwell, and not much change in that 3.5 years, and in a lot of pain. It was my dad that really told me about the technology of glycans. I had a look at it. The science did make sense to me. I understood that if we could make our cells healthy, then maybe I've got a chance at making me healthy or restoring my health again. That's exactly what happened. It took a little while. It took about 8 months, but I just didn't give up, you know. In that 8 months, I shared this technology with other people, and I saw their health change rather quickly and dramatically, quicker than my own. So I learned a big lesson there, that everyone has a different time frame, you know, sometimes into when those outcomes are going to happen. From there, I've never looked back. I've never stopped putting glycans into my body every day. I've never stopped learning, and I don't know where I'd be without this company of Manatech. And then, of course, the gift of being able to share it with others, the excitement around that. I used to work full-time in a bank. Now I only work 10 hours a week in a bank. I have my clinic that I operate 2 days a week, and have a lifestyle. And so I enjoy it very much. So thank you.
Thank you, Colleen. And Julie.
Hi, everybody. Good morning. This is my first time doing this, so I'm feeling a little bit apprehensive and a bit nervous, but as we learnt at the conference, we've got to take that uncomfortable feeling and look at it as an opportunity to grow and develop. So here I am, I'm growing and I'm developing. I've been involved with Manatech for must be nearly 15 years now, and I was always interested in health. I didn't particularly have any challenges that I wanted to address, but my dear mum heard about it and invited me to a meeting, and I heard about the technology and the science and realised that I knew that there was something wrong with our food chain and our nutrition that we were getting, but I didn't realise what it was. And at that meeting, it really the penny dropped for me, and I didn't know what green harvesting was. And Judy Abbott was the lady that was giving the talk, and she said, "Does anyone here not know what green harvesting is?" And I was the only one. I put my hand up, and I'd never heard of the term. And then she explained what it was, and then I realised, yes, I could see why. But since then, I'm a farmer, and I've become very interested in the health of our soil. And now I'm learning from like soil scientists and people like that, it's what's not in our soil also that's, having a big influence on the nutrition not even being in our food. So even if it's grown organically, it's still not, the nutrition is just not there. So, and so I've got a little farm that I run. My husband passed away 7 years ago, so I've picked up with that and doing that. And I also work. I have 2 children and 3 little grandchildren that are arriving a bit later this morning. Help Nana pick all my pears off my tree. And I live in a remote little town. Well, there's only 44 people that live in my closest little town, but Port Lincoln is my centre, and that's 50 kilometres away, so I'm not that isolated, but so I haven't got any Manatechers around me, so I love the conference. I love my Manatech family, so yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you. Yeah, we're blessed to have you. And I know Julie's part of our little team that meets every week for some time now. That's also, we're also in love with Manatech, and for good reason. For those who don't know my background, I've been with Manatech for about 22 years this year. And same reason as is reflected in this little panel, in that I was unable to work. I was so unwell, and I'd been unable to work for some time. And like Colleen, it took me about 18 months really to turn that around. But when I looked back, I'd probably been sick my whole life with things, and it's been a blessing for me, and it's changed my life and my family's life. And I have, especially, as Gary is talking, we're in quite an unstable health and uncertain health situation around the globe right now. And we know that, it's not a magic bullet, but we have all the tools possible and the best tools possible to make a difference in that situation. So my kids are learning all about immune safety and support, and what these nutrients do when they go in their body, and why you have to do it every day. And I'm working around taste needs of kids between Immunostart and which Ambertose and how to flavor it in this way and that way. But it's like, nope, this is non-negotiable. We're doing this. So that's the reason why we're passionate, not only the lifestyle stuff too, actually, because that's changed my life, my ability to have a career and a livelihood that I can work around my children and in the values that are important to me. I used to be a clinical nurse specialist in critical care, and I started to be disengaged because I didn't agree with what I saw with was happening every day as I started to wake up. So I can do everything aligned to my values in this business, and that's probably of supreme importance to me. So we've all agreed. I think we'll get Mike and Rachel to start because Mike has to go early, and we'll probably all have some different highlights. So you can just start what don't have a problem with looking at your notes, because I'm going to. I don't remember it all. I've got quite a few different things that were important to me there. So Rachel and Mike.
Okay, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, everybody. I'm just reflecting so much content in our time away, and I don't want to overlook and not mention people, but I really, so many good messages I received. It's really encouraging. I'll start with Naomi Joy. Naomi just sharing her journey. We so often see, it's a bit like social media and Facebook, where we see when everything's going well, we see successes and wins, and we all look beautiful on Facebook and Instagram, but it's what goes on behind the scene. You know, sometimes we're like a duck, you know, we're gracefully floating across the water, but we're paddling like mad underneath. And so I was really encouraged by Naomi's, just a sharing of her struggle and her wins. It just made it very real for me, and encouraging as well to know that, you know, that I can do that too. And so that was just, I was just really blessed by Naomi's talk, and also by the recognition she received as well. Being a newbie in 18 months, not quite 2 years, I'm excited about where this business is going to go with Manatech, and just with the beautiful people. Adam Fraser spoke just about happiness. You know, prior to his talk, I wake up every day and my aim is to be happy, but then I realized happiness is not the pinnacle. Once you get there, that's not the end. So, and I realized I do like to struggle. As I've shared, I've had a health struggle, our family ongoing, finances can be a struggle. So I'm in a good place. I think we're all in a good place. We're here, and we're you know, we're working towards improving our lives and the lives of others. And Manatech is a vehicle. It's the tool. It gives us the opportunity to create relationships and to restore health, and just such a beautiful thing. So, and from that, also the third space, I am a fitter machinist by trade. And when I come home from work, sometimes I'm grumpy dad or grumpy husband. So that's given me something to think about there, is perhaps I can do an attitude adjustment and yeah, just be a better person in that. So that was a challenge. Yossi Ginsberg, I could have listened to him for another 3 hours. At the start, I was a bit horrified by some of the detail, and but yeah, just amazing story of overcoming adversity, and just yeah, just really encouraging. I found myself at work having a bad day one day, and I thought to myself, what would Yossi do? And I instantly changed. You know, just because I was having a bad day at work was nothing like a bad day in the jungle. And quickly, also James Hannon with his story branding, and also being the guide, not being the hero of people's stories. Unfortunately, being a fireman, I never really see myself as a hero, but I know that firemen are put up as heroes, and that's probably through our selfless giving. But it sits well with me to be the guide, to be helping other people on their adventure and their struggle and their pursuit of happiness. So I want to honour James in that. It really encouraged me, and his success also is encouraging to me. And probably last of all, actually, the launch of our new product.
Yeah.
That was exciting. First in the world, first in Australia. So I've been using that every day, and I'm basically having it for breakfast every morning. So yeah, and I can say I think it's working really well. So just to wrap up, we learned a lot more than that too. We also learned about just a new ManaPay I'll probably get Rachel to elaborate more on that. But we heard from Chris and Jenny. Are just so inspired by the company, and it just encourages me. And I'm looking forward to giving up my full-time work. I work 2 jobs at the moment. I'm a fireman and fitter machinist, and I'm looking forward to and I better not forget, because I'm time limited. But I just got to spend time with people in my team, and it's just nice to celebrate the recognition for the years that you've been in the business, Sharon, and the others. I just know I'm onto something good, and I'm so looking forward to the Dubai incentive trip, which I didn't mention, but just catching up with you all and just being a guide in your stories, and yeah, let's do this thing because we're onto something really good. And I just want to let you know I love you all, and I'm really excited, and I'm looking forward to see where we all go. And I might hand you back to my beautiful wife, 2019's Rookie of the Year, Rachel Davy.
Well done, mate.
Yes, it was an amazing time, and for those of you at conference would actually realise that we brought our children with us. So we have a nearly 13-year-old daughter and an 18-year-old son, and I just wanted to impart to them that there's something different out there, and I knew it would be amazing because you see all those photos in the brochures from the previous year. And I don't think my children or many children would experience something like that, to go to a black tie event and stay in the Marriott for a weekend and things like that. So we just wanted to expose our children to something different. And I was just hoping that my son would gather that the network marketing business model that is not taught mainstream is something that could be an option to him, So, and I think that's what we want to expose. And we had a chat with him even again last night about residual income streams, and he's all over it. So, but my highlights from the conference was a little bit more to do with the revelation of who Manatech is and Manatech Corporate is. And just like Julie, we were the only Manatech associates in Taree that we know of anyway. And so we felt we were starting on our own. And so, understanding that it was a business that paying your income tax to your accountant and is really made me feel like this is something I've chosen to do this, but I'm on my own, So when you're starting out and don't have, like, my upline was a couple of hours away, and my mentor Rod Gilchrist was even more hours away, and so in that space I just thought it was my own. But then when I got to conference, I thought, my goodness me, this is my business. I'm turning up for their conference, which is personal development and business development. So don't underestimate that that's not a personal development journey going to conference, because the amazing growth in our thinking, Mike's just shared about the third space, but shared by, and what Dr. Adam Fraser shared as well. That's all just expanding our mind. So it was a personal development and a business development conference. And so if I've got my own business, like anybody else has their own business at home, what I realised was that there is a team of people who we call corporate running around, how I've sort of conceptualised it, running around trying to help us in major ways, So even if we hold the conference for what it is, they actually brought speakers like Sam Lees as well. So they challenged our dreaming with Yossi. They realised that this world of e-commerce is real and it has to be there. We have to be equipped for us. Or here I'm a little person in Taree with my own business, and this corporate amazing machine brought Sam Lees, a network marketing social media expert, to speak to us. Also put James Hannon, and I believe Naomi Joy is very knowledgeable in this area, pop them up on the stage for us. And this is my little business. And they put them up there for us to help us grow. And then, I'll just go quickly through. I know this information is probably filtered down through your uplines and everything like that. But, in order for us to be paid, they've increased the first order bonus from 15% to 25%. And that's your any customer who purchases, that's straight away payday, really, you know, at 25% on that. We've also, you know, wanting us to be able to sort those business builders and customers out in our businesses pretty much straight away by making the loyalty program that customers and associates receive 20%, so that you're actually not having customers sign as associates to actually have the increase in the loyalty credits, because I would do that, sign up that way, but not intending to build a business. So this way, if you've got someone who's chasing just to have a discount, because we're all after a discount and vouchers, but they want to remain in the customer space, they can. And that's really good, because you're going to know which associates wanting to build and choose to do a business from home. So I thought, wow, that's great. They're sort of sorting the sheep from the goats. I don't know if that's an analogy we can apply, but the other thing is the introduction of ManaPay, which you can opt into. But you can actually be paid weekly as well. So, you know, sometimes you can just come home at night if you wanted to, and you could make some phone calls. You know, we've actually got, you know, with what's going on in our world at the moment, challenging healths of all nations, that, you know, you can make 3 phone calls at night just saying you know, you're interested, if you're interested in immune support products in relation to the impending flu season, which we have every year, you could actually do 3 sales and then actually realise that money in the following week, you know. So, and that's an option for all of us to do activity and recognise. And I think, you know, recruiting or enrolling younger associates in the millennials, they probably want to see money every week as well from the activity that they're doing. And also the customer affiliate program that was launched here in Australia as a trial or a pilot has been adopted through Manatech. So, you know, when you've got, I call them champion customers. Do you know when you've got customers that won't sign up to be an associate, but they just, you know, sing your praises, sing your product's praises. They're my customer champions. And so here's an opportunity to reward those customer champions with loyalty points going forward, and when they refer people to our product range. So, you know, here I am thinking, I pay my own income tax and I have my own little business in Taree, but there's this corporate machine running around behind us, exposing us to greater business opportunities, greater personal development opportunities, and I'm not really paying them. You know, they've got amazing IT teams behind reconstructing our websites for us. You know, if I was a small brick and mortar business downtown Taree, I don't think I have those guys in the back shed. So that's where it's just an amazing experience to actually understand corporate more. Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks, Rachel. We'll have a time to go around in case there's anything you want to add at the end. So just jot it down. Who'd like to go next? Colleen?
Sure, that was lovely hearing from Mike and Rachel, and they've pretty much covered everything off. I guess just to add to that, hearing them talk is probably, you know, like you say, Rachel and Mike, Manatech provide everything for us. A lot of it comes down to us as human beings. How are we going to, we're the messenger, how are we going to get the message out there? And our reality is really, it's us. So I'm really big with personal development, and I believe conference is really a time for that personal development, because it encompasses the whole celebration of our time together is all about learning, inspiration, motivation, practical tips, all that kind of thing. And like you said in the beginning about Sharon, you know, you walk in the door and the first impression, the Marriott, it was absolutely gorgeous. It was like transforms you into another little state. So it takes you out of your normal mundane environment and allows your mind to capture something gracious and big, which I thought was really lovely, because to help be in that mindset to receive the information that's shared with us at conference is really important. So from the very moment you stepped in there, we were wowed. You know, I think put $5 a week aside, everybody, so that you can, you know, now, so that you can attend, you know, help towards that cost of attending conference in 2021, because if you're serious about your business and about you and your life going forward, we have to do everything possible to get there. So if you haven't been to conference for a while, please say yes to 2021, all right? I think they gave us these gift bags. Remember when we got our registrations? And I got, 2 boxes of Ambrito's Life just for showing up. Mm. Like you said, Mike, how generous is Manatech to us? They're incredibly, they always have been, haven't they? They're a very generous company. No one's ever given me the opportunity that Manatech have given me in my life, in all kinds of reasons, and to grow as a human being and a person, and hopefully serve my team and my customers and my community better. I think all those things that you guys talked about, and I come back to Dr. Adam Fraser. I love that. He talked about the 3 circles. We're in our comfort zone, and it's nice being in the comfort zone. But of course, if we stay there, nothing changes. So encouraging us to stretch a little bit and just stretch and see what we can do. So we all need encouragement for that. And then the next circle out is strive, where it can become a bit stressful. So he believes in going in and out through those circles of comfort, stretch, and see you, like hero, fighting fighters, and to stretch and to strive, because strive is where the gold is. So Adam Fraser, all the speakers were amazing, but he was realistic, because let's face it, everyone's in a struggle today of some kind. I mean, this is life, really. This is our life. It is a little bit of struggle mixed with good times, but everything's going calmly, then all of a sudden a struggle hits too, because it's as we're growing as human beings, I suppose. And he said the most dangerous people on the planet were what? Remember, he said the bored, people who are bored, because you get into all sorts of trouble if you're bored. So embrace the struggle, enjoy it, just realize it's just a natural part of things. Yes, Yossi, me too. I think what Mike said, something goes wrong during the day, and I think, oh, how would Yossi handle this? This is nothing. Being in the Bolivian jungle, 3 weeks trying to survive. I mean, you could hear a pin drop. We did not want him to stop talking, did we? And so he was massive, and all the speakers really complemented each other, didn't they, really? And what Naomi's story from the heart and reminded us, we all have that struggle. And of course, Sam Lee's very practical information, who you are as a person. I can talk, we can, if there's time at the end, we can go over that. What I also really liked is when someone says to you, what do you do? Remember that piece? Mm-hmm. And how to answer that question? What do you do? And might have been James, I can't remember now, but someone gave us a really good analogy of how to do that. Well, how people today are struggling with what can they do with their immune system, or how can they support the immune system for their family and their health and their children. Well, what I do is I show people how they can actually do that. So answer that question as simply as that. So there were lots of highlights, meeting up with old friends, making new ones, beautiful food, chance to dress up. Look, it's for me, just to finish off, it just sets the year ahead for me, because I need my mind to be reset. I need my outlook to be correct. I need to get rid of any negativity and start, make sure that positive energy is in me to give me the sustenance to get through the year. So I loved it. Thank you.
Thanks, Colleen. And Julie.
Isn't it lovely sharing all these again? I feel like I want to go back to conference and do it all over again and take better notes and enjoy all the lessons. Colleen, yes, that just brought to my mind, I always feel when I go to conference, it's like me plugging into the 240 volt power instead of just my little, backup battery power pack from my phone. So for me, I would not go to conference, like it's so important for me to go. And Yossi, his closing statement was, don't stand between a young man and his dream. So he had a dream and he pursued it, and what a journey. So it was about dreams, and, don't let anything get in the way of your dream. And I really enjoyed Dr. Adam Fraser. I thought that he was great. And my friend that came with me, I brought 2 guests actually, I want to talk about that in a minute. But she bought both of the books, Strive and the third space. So she's given me that one to read while she's reading the other, and then we'll swap. But we were laughing at each other because on the way home on the plane, we've both got our noses stuck in their books, and we say, "Oh, look at this book, read that," you know, and then we'd go like that. We were laughing because, you know, we were just getting so much out of little snippets out of the book, and it's a type of book that you can just open up at any page and read something and get a big lesson. So yes, I'm looking forward to getting Strive and read that. And it really resonated with me about the happiness bit. And I can see now that happiness isn't reaching the goal, it's the actual doing it, the journey. That's where, and achieving the struggles, that's where it really is. So yeah, that was very, very good. What else? Happiness has perverted our relationship with struggle. That's something that Adam said. And reframe my view of discomfort. So I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to draw those arrows up on a piece of paper and pin it up on my wall just to remind myself that, yes, it's an opportunity to grow and to develop. So, but what I wanted to talk about was the personal development. I brought two of my friends with me this year, one for the first time, and I think Ian's attended, might be his fourth conference, and they are both customers of mine. And I said to them, particularly Tristan, I said, well, they'll be talking business. I don't know whether you'll, you know, you just take from the conference what you want to take. Well, they came away so excited and so thankful for me to invite them and to bring them. And Ian particularly, I can see that he's grown, and like he trusted me to start with for the products. And he's been taking them long enough now that he actually stopped for 3 weeks when he was away on a holiday and came back and felt terrible. So he knows, he went back on them and he won't ever do that again. So he knows that the products work. And I think over the last couple of years, because he's interacted with a few different people at the conference, like he's talked to Dr. Steve Nugent. Last year he talked to Liz Chamberlain. I introduced him to Liz because he's got a little granddaughter that's got compromised health. And then this year he actually sat next to Liz at the dinner on the Saturday night. And we heard firsthand her story with her little boy Declan. And Tristan was listening. You know, she just loves listening to all the stories. And Rachel, she loved listening to your stories. And Poppy, you know, all the stories that were told. And what a difference that's made. And they've just really thanked me for, you know, allowing her to tag along with me. And they're both very keen to come back next year. So, you know, maybe even some of the people that are just customers and not interested in the business can, you know, get a lot out of the conference. Yeah, so just being around, we forget a little bit that it's such a wonderful attitude and a lovely, friendly environment full of people with purpose and wanting to help people, that we sort of forget that a little bit. But the impact that it had on those two was just amazing. And that was really my highlight, my biggest highlight, I think, just to see their delight and what they got out of it.
That's amazing, Julie. That's like I got goosebumps listening to that story. So is that complete for you?
Yeah, well, yeah, I've got there was lots of gems all over the conference, and even like the social media. I'm not big on social media, and it's an area that I have to put my L plates on. So, but even through James and Pam Lee's talk, I still got a lot out of that. So there was little snippets that I could get out of that. So yes, no, I thought it was absolutely fantastic conference.
Yeah, me too. I just want I've got a quote. I'll just add the quote from Dr. Adam Fraser. He specifically referred it to the happiness movement and how it's ruined things for everyday people, because they start to think if they're not happy, they're doing something wrong. Whereas he said life is the beauty of life. This isn't a quote, but his message is the beauty of life is the combination of all kinds of ups and downs and highs and lows. And it's the struggle. I don't know if anybody remembers exactly what he said about, is it, it's not Kuwait, was it, where is he consulting to, what country? Kuwait, was it?
Kuwait.
No, Dubai, was it?
No, it was another one.
In Kuwait, when they
Kuwait.
They brought him in because they weren't happy because they had so much money and no problems.
Yeah, it was, and like we're led to believe we're not happy because we haven't achieved or you know, reached a certain goal or done a certain thing, and that happiness should be all the time. And he's it's ruined, you know, the Western world. Really, it's not just the Western world. I'm sorry. I mustn't have spoken enough this morning yet. And that really impacted me because I've done 30 years or more of personal development, and I hadn't heard it positioned that way. And it's true. It is, isn't it? Because people feel bad if they're not happy, and that's just, happiness is just one part of the whole. So I think that was sort of probably life-changing for a lot of people in hearing that. And were you going to say something else, Julie?
Yes, Sharon. I just, sometimes finances is what stops people from going to the conference, and finances have never been real overflowing with abundance for me. So a few years ago, I actually started up another bank account away from my normal everyday banking, and I put money goes into there automatically every month. So when it comes conference time, I go to my other bank and my other bank account, have a look, and oh, it's nice, you know, because the money's just sitting there ready to go. So, you know, that might be something that someone wants to do just to make look, the finances of getting to the conference a bit easier.
It is life-changing, isn't it? You know, that's, discomfort triggers evolution. We human beings, we all grow through evolution. That was another part of Adam Fraser's message. And that, you know, your commitment to be there. I love seeing you every year, Julie. That's great. Has anything else arisen for anybody else you want to add?
Well, Sharon, I would just like to add, because I thought someone would share this, but what's the deal with an incentive trip, you know? So I've been with health and nursing for 25 years, and they haven't even awarded me a plastic pen yet. I think the ones I have, I've actually accidentally stolen, you know? And so, you know, I think, wow, in the next sort of 6 months, 5 months, the energies that I put into my own personal business to make my own income, then turn around, and then there's this amazing incentive trip, you know, and we're not just talking, oh, you know, we'll take you out for a cup of tea, because that would be nice even if health did that, but it's let's fly you across the world and spend some time over there in Dubai, you know, like it's actually just mind-blowing, you know. And you know, we've got such a product, and I know I'm speaking to all of you on behalf of you, I'm going to speak on behalf of you, that we have an amazing product. And amazing product that changes lives. And an amazing woman called Sharon Whiteman says, you know, this is what people are praying for, you know, and then they're going to fly me to Dubai doing that activity. So, you know, for those of you out there, I know teams are doing amazing Zoom calls. Jenny Messenger's doing amazing Zoom calls. Jump on those calls just to get the business activity tips and tools and ideas and things like that, because you know, if you just don't think you could actually get there or meet the points qualification, just do the activity. Because again, as I said, I'm in this little, I perceive my business that I'm on my own, and but clearly we're not. But going forward, that even if I strive to do any of the activity that is recommended, and we're all pacing partners and things like that, my business is simply going to grow, and my home income is going to grow. And then if I happen to have a trip on the end of that, that is just all so mind-blowing. So people's out there, you know, jump on your upline leaders calls and things like that, and just grow your business. If you're going to grow your business anyway, but hey, if they fly across the world, that's another bonus as well.
I know Julie was impacted by that as well, weren't you, Julie?
Yes, like going for incentives is something that I've never aspired to, I guess, but just Jenny Messenger saying, you know, like just go for it and look at it as business growth. Don't look at it, you know, because for the trip as such, but have a go, you'll grow your business anyway. Mm-hmm.
Colleen, were you going to say something?
Yeah, look, I agree. The incentive, Manatech, again, are incredibly generous. This incentive, and hopefully you've all had a chance to really itemize it and look through it. It is very attainable. It's very doable, and it's going to grow yourself and your team and your business. So you just have to make a decision around it and say yes, and then just get stuck in and make it happen. It's all there for us. All the help is there. Reach up to your upline. Do things together rather than on your own. You know, have those coffee meetings and mornings regularly, even if it's via Zoom, if you live a long way away from each other. What Sam Lee's talked about in terms of the social media thing, I've been working on that this week, and personally putting up posts and personally, and as someone comments on it, personally messaging them, hey, thank you for liking this post. You know, what is it that you particularly like or about this, or what would you like some information on? Not salesy, just being that guide, you know, that we talk about, guiding someone through, and personally message them, and that way it's sort of, people feel safer that way. It's not over, the conversation isn't open for everyone to see. Find out what they want, what they need help with right now. So reach out to all your Facebook friends as well. So the incentive is fantastic. I've been fortunate enough to be on lots of incentives. Yes, you have to put effort in. Yes, you have to be focused, but is it worth it? Absolutely, incredibly worth it. So yeah, who would have thought of Dubai? I got quite a surprise at that. You know, I kept thinking, whereabouts? Where could we possibly go? So it was a huge surprise. So it's fun. Let's go.
And you can see another point is coming to mind when you're talking about this, the I'm going to say extreme, that's probably not the right adjective, but experience of Jenny Messenger. You could just see her wisdom and business acumen on everything. She had touched everything about the conference, really, including that, you know, and how much support we had. And, you know, everybody listening today, you will be included in this. Chris Simons, you know, he said, I have the opportunity, he has the privilege to travel all around the world and meet different leaders everywhere. And he said the quality of leaders in Australasia is amazing. You guys have got this, like you're a second to none in the world. And he says, I can compare all regions. And so just really acknowledging yourselves. Because I think one of the things that's probably nobody else has this problem, but I have a hard time believing in myself. And sometimes I look back and I thought, gee, if I just had really fully 200% backed myself on that, I would have gone, instead of second guessing myself. And I really took that to heart with Chris, that we do have everything in this region that we need to bring us to, well, we need Manatech, people need Manatech, don't they? And in whatever way, I loved his leadership as well. And that particularly was impactful for me when he said that. And it's true, all of you here today, pass it on to those that be here.
I'm just smiling, Sharon. I've just seen Irene's comment here in the chat. She thinks that Chris could be a comedian in another life.
I love his sense of humor too. It's so dry. And he makes fun of himself all the time, doesn't he? Remember when he said, did you say this is my serious face or this is my happy face? Which one of the others?
You have to know him, don't you? Because some people think, oh, yeah, odd, you know. But we've come to know him over a few years now, so we know it. But he has got that dry sense of humour. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
fantastic.
dry with a twist of sarcasm, I think. I tickles my funny bone every time. So I'm just looking at my notes here. Then just so you know, we have the opportunity to get some more training from Sam Lee's coming in the future. We'll also have an opportunity with James. And so there's lots of different modalities out there to learn social media right now. And I learned different things from different people. So I learned different things from Naomi and James that I did from Sam. And the point is, it's not about making one right or wrong over the other, but to follow what pulls your heart. And I don't find it confusing, because they're complementary, the training that they both offer to us. We're very lucky in this region to have both those people. And I know they're piloting something, I think, called something in the US got a whole cross-line group of people in the US being led by Al Bala and some consultants doing the same thing there. And I think that will be available globally eventually. It's a pilot there. So there's some really, really good things. And do a little or a lot on social media, but really, especially if we're going to be social distancing for a while, social media is quite safe from the viral point of view, isn't it? Anything else anybody would like to add?
Yeah, just following on from what you said, Sharon, we all have the same commodity, right? But we're all individuals. So Sam Lee and it talked about your personal brand, and so find out what you stand for, find out who you are and who you influence, and just reach out that way. We don't need to try to be somebody else. We're just you. So understand who you are and what's important for you, and then the people that resonate with that will resonate with you. So really celebrate that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. So it's because people are attracted to different people, and that's for the right reasons. You sort of we're out there wanting to attract our tribe, and we only attract our tribe to what we have to offer by being our authentic selves.
And Sharon, I'd just like to acknowledge Colleen here on the call as well. Not only is she beautiful and elegant, but she is the winner of the Giving Spirit Award. And that's, the awards is all new to me to watch all of that at our first conference. And so, Colleen, it's great that you're on the call, and well deserved. I believe that award goes to only very special people, who I believe Sharon Whiteman is also a recipient in the past. So, Colleen, I'm going to ask you a question. Please share a little bit about how you felt receiving the award and the acknowledgement of what you've done.
Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, just like you said, the people beforehand, I must admit, I've always admired that award over the years, and the people who have been recipients of it. And I was sitting at this table, you asked the people that were sitting around me, and as Jenny was reading out those attributes, I was thinking, gee, that's hard, or, whew, but in my head I was thinking, actually, I do that. But never did I ever think that when Chris opened the envelope, it would be Colleen Ryan. The table around me, we just erupted, so it was a real surprise. And I thank my peers and people who, nominated my name, obviously. So I'm really grateful for that. I did meet Mike Forrest years ago when he came to Wellington to do a talk, and he really it was a lot of years ago, and he really struck me, amazing man. So I just feel, I don't even really think about it. I think we all do it, but it's just being there for your team. When they feel down, try to find a way to build them up again, build the team up. Or when we lose momentum, try and think, okay, what can we do to bring the momentum back, or a bit of excitement back? It's a balancing act, I think. Knowing who to give your time to, because there's only so many hours in a day. But for me here in New Zealand, there are other teams in New Zealand here as well. And I just see us as the whole country of New Zealand working together. As I think Sharon said and you others said, Manatech belongs to everybody. And our job is to try and get it out there. So yeah, I do love putting my time and energy into Manatech. It's been great, but I love trying to do my best. Do I get it always right? No. You know, I'm still learning as well. But one thing you touched on earlier was, I think you talked about it, Sharon, you know, when you don't believe in yourself, when someone doesn't believe, but you can believe it, and you've got to believe it for them. And then after a while, they take on that belief and ownership, don't they? And they grow and develop. So I was truly impressed. The local paper did a wee write-up. My neighbours told the paper, not me. Don't blow your own trumpet, right? They did, oh, here it is. Just happen to have it handy.
Oh, that's amazing, Colleen.
And here it is here, and it's so heavy. It weighs probably just about as much as my little dog weighs. Pearl in one hand and this in the other. It weighs about the same. And it's a beautiful award. And thank you, Matt. And yeah. And I'm just grateful, you know, it was a total surprise. So I just humbled and thank you. Yeah.
Congratulations. Very well deserved, Colleen.
Thank you.
A little aspect about the award was I loved the Guard of Honour that Jenny set up for the award, because
that was a great, absolutely. Yeah.
She had lots of lovely touches throughout the conference. Mm.
Absolutely, yeah, to be surrounded with that and recognise all the people, and there's so many more as well, but you know, just recognise that integrity and keeping our values there, isn't it? You know, just keeping true to ourselves, keeping honest and value, and just trying to do our best. It's serving others, serving our community, and but like Adam said, you know, go through the struggle. We definitely all struggle. Look what can happen as a result. And you do all of us influence people's lives, don't we? We never underestimate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Bev was just saying in the comments, Jenny believes fun and laughter is the place for learning, and definitely it was a fun and exciting conference, wasn't it? I was just looking for a quote from Adam. He said, discomfort triggers evolution, and that we grow through that discomfort depending on the choices we make about that. So as long as we don't quit or give up, that discomfort is what's triggering us to be more and become more and have more and do more. So I think, you know, our vehicle is such a trigger for that, isn't it? It's such a vehicle for that growth.
Yeah, when the pain is great enough, you know, hopefully it'll motivate us to do something. Because no one wants to keep living in that pain zone, not really.
No. I want to say one more thing, and then we'll go around just to say what you want to say in completion. Another thing that Chris, he also spoke about the unstable regulatory environment for not only from the business, but from the wellness, and what a shining star Manatech is in that, you know. So, you know, many of us might have had a whinge over the years for strict rules and guidelines and some freedoms removed, but I think the writing is on the wall now that Manatech is a shining star in that, and we'll win in the regulatory environment, even though it makes us jump through a lot of hoops and it's so illogical and it so has crazy government's hands all over it, that Manatech will be a shining star through that. So, you know, we've been through the rocky waters, and Manatech is just shining, and I'm, for one, I'm very proud to be. I can put hand on heart in full integrity and know I can put my integrity and my values on the line representing this company. So go around and just have an opportunity to say what you'd like to say in completion.
Well, I would just like to encourage everybody that having experienced my first conference and everything that it entailed, and with Jenny Messenger at the helm, I don't think that you can go wrong investing your time and energy into this business, but also all the corporate activities on the corporate calendar, that you should prioritize getting to them, because Jenny has, you know, as it's come up in the comments there, learning environments are fun, that we can learn there, but at the same time they're just bringing such quality gold to us that we could be successful on the ground. So yeah, make sure you're there. Mike and I will be there. We won't bring the kids this time because the black tie dinner will be much nicer. So yeah, amazing experience. You must be there.
Well, you know, I've left kids in the room with some movies at some black tie dinners. So that's an option for you pay for them a movie they want. Julie?
Yes, well, I just like to encourage everybody to come along and perhaps encourage your customers to come along too. If they're, you know, if they've got that interest. Yeah, open another bank account and pop some money away each month to, you know, help pay for the trip and make it as stressful as, take the stress away there for the trip. And yeah, I just think introduce as many people as we can to this wonderful business that does change lives and health. And yeah, no, I'm very thankful that I'm part of this Manatech family.
Thank you, Julie. And Colleen?
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, I think Manatech are perfectly positioned in the world right now and for the future. I feel confident, happy, I feel proud to be connected to this company. We have something truly special. It's a real gift. And once people understand that, you never lose it. Personal development, you know, just keep on with that. If you're not sure what to say to people, you know, ask your upline, ask your team members for help, connect with people, try and reach out, just reach out. Hey, what's going on for you at the moment? You know, how can I help you, or something like that. And I just want to say, you put some money aside each week, make a decision to be at conference next year, but don't wait for next year for something to happen. And the superfood is absolutely incredible. I immediately noticed a huge lift in my energy, but also my mental alertness. I got really busy long days like everybody, huge work schedules of all sorts of projects I do. And I can remain relaxed and focused and just onto it. And that's that superfood. Wow. People are enjoying it. So just share that. Thank you.
Well done.
Yeah.
So much gratitude in the comments for all of you and your contributions. Thank you very much, ladies and Mike. Next week we have Karen Dennis. Really, we've got a no holds barred FAQ call. Anything you want to ask, business, wellness, product, what to do, what not to do. We're both pretty excited about it. We had a long talk about it last night. So we haven't done this before, but it's available to all of you. And she is one incredible leader in Manatech's family of leaders. So you'll want to be there. So see you next week, everybody. Thank you for being here and for your contributions. And we love you all. Bye, everyone.
Thank you,
Have
everybody.
a great weekend.
Bye.
Bye.